water's nice and clear too. I forget which one it is. This one? No, it's this one. Here we go. I got sand all over my feet. There we go. All right. Oh. You're not supposed to start off from a standstill standing up. A lot of people out today. Water's perfect. I forgot to start my my watch. Back here. What's up? I gotta wait for the GPS to connect. I think I'm gonna take the camera up a little bit. There we go. Some people do yoga on these. Yeah, that's what they're doing. Looks like they're planking. Normally I go off to the left, but today I'm going to check it out to the right. Windsurfing. And that looks like fun, but there's barely a breeze this morning. I see two of the same ones. Must be rentals. So that building right in front of me is the W Hotel. It's pretty famous. I'm pretty sure there's one in New York City. And that the beach that it's based at is Barcelona. I always get that mixed up. Barceloneta. Hard to say. Barceloneta. Anyway, nice beach, very touristy. This is our beach right in front of our house, Marbella, and we also have, what is it called, Plajita Nueva Bella, and then I think Levant, which is what this area was called, part of a larger geographic area, I think around the time of Christ, maybe 2,000 years ago. Could be. I recently learned that the Egyptians were here. Who else? The Moors, the Visigoths. Oh, I see fish. Who else? I don't know. There was tons of invaders here. Romans. Obviously, you've seen Game of Thrones. I haven't seen. Well, Lorena and I went off to Girona, and we saw some of the areas that were part of scenes in Game of Thrones. So it was pretty neat. But even that was touristy. We thought we were getting away from the tourists. Nope. And also, even Girona, which was, I think, an hour and 45-minute drive from here, had a major, I guess, commercial or consumer boulevard where they had Rolex and all the fancy shit. Whoops, someone took a swim. Whoop, he's going down too. Nope. Shouldn't talk. You'll probably see me fall. So, a couple days ago I went, oh, fish are jumping out here. Oh, look at those. I wonder if you can see them. Let me see. Oh. There's some big fish. And then off to the right, was like a bunch of anchovies or something jumping for their lives. So I have right out here you can see the rocks on the bottom. It's probably about 20 something feet, maybe less, I don't know, I can't tell, but it's very clear today. I could see the bottom, and I bought an anchor. It's 2 kilograms, so it's 5 pounds, that I could use to tie off and go snorkeling out here. But I just wanted to do the SUP today because I didn't feel like carrying the anchor out here too. My back's been bugging me. What's this crap? Guess I'll try to point this out. So there is, almost right in front of me now, a building that looks like a cone. We call it the phallic building, or the Poblano cock, but it's kind of a symbol of the high-tech area that is Poblano here, which is a barrio in Barcelona. And behind that, there's a church. I'm not sure which church that is, though. Well, I feel the swells a little more here. It's not bad. I've been out here in a lot worse conditions. I mean, it's not bad at all. This is beautiful. But when it's wavy, it's not easy to do this, and you get tired and fall easily. I think if you stay within these jetties, it's a little less wavy. The waves aren't big here in the sense of surfing, but a lot of people do try to surf them if it gets stormy out. And then there's some bigger waves in Castelldefels, which is an area we had considered living in, but we decided on Poblano because I'm likely to get a position somewhere at a local company here, and some of them are requiring people to come in either 100% or a hybrid, 2 days a week kind of thing. So being as that we didn't know, we thought it would make sense to stay here, maybe make some contacts in the area, which, given my limited Spanish, is a little challenging. A lot of people say there's nothing to see out here if you go scuba or snorkeling, but I don't know. I see fish down there. Maybe they don't come out this far. That could be what it is. Yeah, because the buoys themselves say, that's for the swimmers to stay within that area. Each beach has a lifeguard tower or two. So I guess that's there. If you go beyond the yellow, you're on your own. But from here, it's where the sand starts to turn a little rocky. I'm finding it's a little easier to go head first into the waves or the swells. The one good thing about that Poplano phallic symbol is that it serves as a good point of reference for when you're walking around, you know, and you're learning the streets. If you get confused about which way are the hills and which way is the sea, you can just look for that building. And then obviously these ones in front of me here, Mapfre is an insurance company. That's the one with the red text on it. The golden, I guess it's a statue or a piece of metal art. I don't know what you'd call it. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be like a whale or a fish. But it's right next to a casino, which we haven't gone to because we don't like gambling really. And it doesn't look like anything in Vegas, you know. It's small. It seems small and probably, I don't know, maybe they have cards. But you see a lot of little bars and stuff that have slot machines here, which is kind of funny. The local neighborhood bar has a little slot machine. I guess it makes the money, but who would trust it, right? I think the America's Cup is coming here, and I think that's what they call it. The America's Cup is coming here next year, where they have those big, super fast sailboats races around. I think it goes around the world, and I don't know what sizes we've seen, but like there's two boats right in front of me now. Three that are all the same, so they're race boats, but I don't think they're America's Cup type, because I think it's like an open system. America's Cup is designed for technology development, so they have very little limitations, I believe, except for the length of the boats, or maybe even that's not a limiting factor. It just has to be run by the wind. Larry Ellison, the founder of Oracle and the CEO, I don't know if he still is, but he built his own boat. I don't know if he won it, but they cost millions of dollars. And most of them today are made out of all carbon fiber just to keep the weight down. I was thinking it would be a fun project to try to make a SUP in carbon fiber. That way it would be a lot easier too to carry it, but I don't know. I think with this pumped up, all of the air inside, I believe I get like 30 pounds maybe it weighs, and we're not far from the beach, but it's still a little hassle to carry. And with carbon fiber, I've been watching videos on YouTube. The way to get it the thinnest and strongest or the lightest is to do the infusion, where you have a vacuum bag. But to make something like this, you'd need to have a mold. So you'd first have to create a mold with like foam insulation. You just can buy the multiple 4-inch, you know, I don't know what rating they are, but the new type of foam insulation is really thick. And then you shape it, you glue them together, the 4-inch pieces, to the thickness that you want and the length. And then you create that as a foam mold. Then from there, you create another mold using fiberglass. So then you have the inside shell, and that's how you then apply on, once you make your fiberglass mold, then you could do it in halves, two halves, and there's a way to do it and seal it together all at once, but that looked really complicated. So from there, what you do is, so you got your 2 fiberglass molds, and you spray what they call a release agent. I don't know what the heck it is. For all I know, it could be like some kind of just oil-based product. And then you lay down this, you lay the carbon right on top of that, and then you apply epoxy that you mix. And there's different types of epoxies you can buy, or resins, they call epoxy resin, depending on, you know, the vendor that sells that stuff. It comes in two types. You know, there's the main majority of it is one like A, and then B is the hardening agent that makes it stiff and hard. Some of them are considered bio-friendly, but I don't think they have good UV properties. The ones that do have good UV properties and won't yellow over time, obviously full of chemicals in the production. So using that process, you can layer up, and then you could do like 3 layers of carbon fiber, or more if you want, but 3 layers, and the direction of the weave determines the direction of the strength. So they make different types of weaves, like unidirectional or like crosshatch. So depending on your application. And then on top of that, you then layer a membrane, a breathable membrane. The membrane itself will allow the vacuum to suck all of the air out of the mold when it's still wet. And then on top of the membrane, they usually lay, I forget what they call it, but it looks to me like some kind of an absorbent material that just sucks up any excess. And also, Then you use the vacuum bag, which has these little tiny channels. It's just like a checkerboard, but really small. And you hook it up to not a vacuum cleaner, but they have specific vacuums. And the vacuum itself will suck the resin through those channels throughout your mold. And then, depending on how long, what type of resin you chose, you can I'm going to turn around now. It looks like I'm getting in an area where there's a channel, or at least head around this thing here. It's kind of interesting. So yeah, anyway, 8 hours you can take it out of the mold and then let it cure for another day or two, and then you actually do sanding to give it that mirror polish. Well, this looks like an area for lobsters. I see little fish. I didn't know this was here. This is a perfect area. Ron, I remember us looking for lobsters and around that, I don't know what it was, some kind of pylon thing, a cluster of rocks, and I went under and got stuck. And in my panic, I didn't think to just take off the damn tank. Luckily, you heard me. There's a water diving bird here. I don't know if you could see it. There's a couple of them on these rubbles. I don't know why they put this out here like this. Maybe it's just a warning. Ah, there's a big fish down there. This is the spot. I gotta come back with the anchor. So yeah, anyway, that's what I'd like to do. Play with some carbon fiber. Oh, so this was part of an older jetty system, and maybe it was all, I don't know, maybe it was all set up to like they broke it down on purpose. Huh. All right, I gotta go back around. I can't paddle through that. Oh, so yeah, so what I was saying is you can polish up the carbon fiber and apply a new epoxy to it, the resin, when it's done, to glue the two halves together. So I'm gonna try I have a little kit, like a learner's kit, with some epoxy and things to make forged carbon fiber parts that I got from easycomposites.com, and I'm going to actually trying to make something called maquila. It's a walking stick that has multiple purposes, that we saw in the Basque Country. Underneath the handle is hidden a small spike. It's really a small thin blade, and then the walking point that you put on the ground, well, it was originally a walking stick, but it seems like in modern times they started adding, or more modern times I should say, it's an old tradition, they started adding metal tips that are basically, they almost look like an arrowhead, but much thicker, to withstand, using it as a walking stick without dulling it too much. So I don't know what kind of metal it's made out of. So I'm trying. I bought a piece of carbon fiber tubing, and I'm going to try to make something like that using this little kit. And then after that, I'll come up with something else to make. And then, if I can feel confident, I got to do some calculations on the SUP. And I'm pretty sure if you just make a standard length, and with minimal width or thickness, you'll be fine. But what I don't know is, like, some people would take the core material to make a SUP that I mentioned, the mold, So with the fiberglass, not the fire, yeah, whatever, is that foam insulation. If you just make a model using that foam insulation and shape it how you want, you can lay the fiberglass up right on that. But then you have the weight of that inside the boat, which I don't want, because I want it to be as light as possible. So my question is, if I don't have anything inside like foam supporting me when I'm standing on it, do I need structural support across the beam widthwise of the SUP? And I guess that would depend on the type of carbon used and the thickness that I decide to implement. All right, so now we're heading back. This, I don't know what the name of this beach is. But we are heading towards now Barcelona. You can see in the distance there's like 3 smokestacks, and those no longer work, but both Poblano and Barcelona used to be very industrial. I think Poblano was a textile and other types of manufacturing area, and that's why we have they saved some of the old smokestacks. So I shared the Bezos smokestack in photos. But that big thing is still there, and I don't think they have any plans to take it down or what. I suppose if they ever needed to, they could fire it back up and do whatever it was doing. But it's another good reference point. Where are you, where you're heading to? So from here to, well, it's kind of hard to describe. You can see like a triangular thing in the air straight ahead to the right of the smokestacks. That, I'm not sure exactly what that is. It's like, I think it's a roof for concerts. But I bring it up because from there to where I am right now is a walk that Lorraine and I and Teddy do quite often, because on parallel to that area, but further inland, is the closest shopping mall that we have. And then there's another shopping mall called Glories, which is right next to the Poblano phallic symbol over there. So I don't know how many kilometers it is. I think it's probably about from here to there, maybe 5. So just a couple miles. I'm actually it's only the mall when what went from my house is only 900 meters or so. But I'll just share in that's a typical walk for us on a weekend, or just tooling around after Lorena gets off of work. Yeah, I'm still mooching, but eventually I'm gonna have a job soon. Friday, 2 days from now, I'm getting an MRI on my back so that I could get it fixed. My legs are starting to become numb in the feet more often. Pain down the sciatica nerves of both legs, and then just the stabbing pain in my lower back. And I also have another disc that I think is just flattened right in the middle of my back, just like 2 inches below where the shoulder blades meet. And when that hurts, it hurts to breathe. And I really shouldn't be carrying anything, the SUP included. I've already paddled 2 kilometers. Ooh, there's a big fish. Oh yeah. Oh, there's a couple of them. Doubt you can see it. There's some fish. Oh, hard to see. Look decent size. Baby's here. there's a mermaid over there.
Let's do that, but I think we must be close to the left.
Hungry. So, that's the first time I felt today. Oh man. And I was trying something different. Yeah, I was trying to. Well, now I'm all wet. I could go with my, I brought my goggles. Hello. Oh. You see any fish?